Sure.
It is a bad omen to have a priestess so young.
Age is no assurance of wisdom. Remember Anna?
Still your tongue. Amira's winds will surely carry your words.
Quit your chirping. Full tides. Himwihi and the other Mataru found them when they explored the island. Said maybe we train them to build. And if the soil and sea are misers here, then we eat them.
I do not believe I have ever experienced hunger so great that I would resort to eating lagufath.
The high tide is stingy with fish, and the low tide even more so.
Well, the fish do not swim to you, brother? Strange.
Akira, for Ngati does not bless us all equally. What more you need?
The village store. Confess, Tamao, or will you let good food rot?
Does mine look like a full belly, idiot? Question the rest of the Raparu. We all hunger.
Disgrace. Any other Raparu has worked 10 times in a day what you have in your life, and they do not complain.
Watcher, we can't just let this injustice stand. Do something, or I might. You do? I mean, of course you do.
I say, this outsider speaks her mind like a Mataru. Another outsider. You visit Tikawara in hungry times. What do you make of this hagfish, huh? Will Tamao confess if I tighten the ropes? Pakeho caught this wretch stealing the last of the Koiki fruit. The tribe was to feast on it for a harvest ceremony.
The Koiki will reveal itself when you can smell it from Nekataka, I say.
I stole no Koiki, but I wish I had. I would have hid it somewhere most unpleasant.
You hear this? A second chance we give, and Tamao throws it in our faces. Lied and stolen? Akira. When we have food, he takes more than he deserves. He steals baskets and pots, and even pilfered a spearhead from a warrior on a hunt. I say there is no person in Tikawara who he has not wronged in some way. Maybe no person in the Deadfire.
I say I deserve what others have in plenty. Shade, a full belly, a moment to kneel on cool sands. We stopped being a tribe when Ruanu dragged us into the path of the outsiders. Now we can only save ourselves.
You shame us, Tamao. To return in your next life as a coconut crab would be too kind. We would have eaten the last of the Kawiki as a tribe. This way, we give our thanks to Kahopa, the eel of life. Now this cannot happen. Our harvest fails because this one puts his empty stomach higher than the gods. Akira, just so. To consume the fruit, seeds, and all. This is how we pray to Kahopa for bounty. I say, missing food is not the problem. Tamao betrays the tribe, dishonors the Reparo, denies all of us Kahopa's mercy. And he will surely wash back into our nets as a mudfish in the next life if he does not tell us where the Kawiki fruit is.
I might have an old primer on Raotayan naval punishments lying around. You could give those a try.
You speak like an outlander, but your face is of the tribes.
Forget I said anything.
Pikeho's word is enough to give Tamao over to the waves.
Oh, perfectly civilized. Go on.
This is our way.
Better to drown as an innocent man than starve with you fools.
Justice does not fill our stomachs or our hearts. It brings the gods no closer to ending this famine. Akira, you would do this? I say, our Raga will dedicate the Feast of the Last Kawiki to your name. Until the Kawiki is found, I will delight in prodding this stubborn eel for answers. You are free to question him in your custom, I say, and Piheko he tarries often by the beach. Then you must speak with the Raga. His lodge is at the top of the hill, past the trading post. Nairi also knows much, but she is quiet ever since. Nairi, she tends the shrine in the northwest part of town, near the statue of Ngati. Yes. I am a warrior, like most Mataru. Can you not tell? We have little reason to fight on Tikawara. Except when the fishermen drink too much of the dwarf man's liquor. But these are only small fights, not like it was on the island we left before, when the pirates, the slave... But what did I say? Ah, Tikawara does not give an abundance, but there are worse things, Akira.
I say that a bound man is usually a more welcoming sight than this.
You look at me for what? To watch me shrivel up in the sun? I have seen better days than this. I labor for the tribe, but our Ranga saves the best of everything for his warriors. For what does a warrior need with a full stomach when we are not at war? Then maybe you ask someone with both feet on the ground. I need to conserve my strength. If only my brain and belly had coordinated, I say I would have tried sooner. Keho hates me because I insult his puny catches of fish. All he does is weigh down his boat. For this, he accuses me. Keho says I was skulking by the drying hut north of the Ranga's home. Akira, this is so. I would have taken the Kohiki, but it was already gone. It is said the Roparu share one empty stomach. Blame any of them, I say. The tribe drives me out like jerky because I am hated, not because I am a Kowiki thief.
Found something.
Oh, filth. An outsider in Tiquara? Who are you, stranger? A captain. If you had sailed downwind of the island, you would have moved on, I say. I tell Ranga Ruano that the stench of Tiquara will drive away friend and outsider alike. Do you smell it? The words of a skilled hunter. There is no food on this barren island that those monsters do not steal. Always they circle our village looking for weaknesses. I push the cage with the young ones farther toward the beach, but I smell them even here. Better to keep them under our thumb than sharpening blow darts, I say. A week ago, I tracked the fish to Hoina Ravine, so I challenged the Mataru to a hunting competition. My mother's belt for the brood mother's head. It is not every day that newcomers land on our beaches. What say you show me how outsiders deal with Lagufath? Understand they are animals. You must rely on blades, I say, not words. Hunting tales of our ancestors say the brood will scatter when their fish Ranga is killed. No need to chase the children if you cut the head from the mother. The Ranga wanted a trading post. He said it will bring more Valians like the sweaty dwarf. Then they will bring food and supplies and their sweaty money. Always I stand here. This is no job for the Mataru. We hunt, fight, and lead. Someone must. What is there to hunt on this heap of rock and moss? No game, only Lagofath skulking in Hoina Ravine. Even the antelope know there is no fit home. The grasses are thin and the trees are like a child's bones, small and soft. Even to build this, you must hike up the mountain for wood. At last, a job worthy of Mataru. Choose from the finest hunters and warriors. For what do you linger here? Am I a Kuaru? Do I dirty my fingers with coins 1,000 hands have touched? Never. Go see the sweaty one, the dwarf. He washes his hands sometimes.
No sign of my shipmates on the horizon.
What say? You are new to Tikawara? I weave baskets and mats, strong and soft, just as my mother's cousin taught me. In the afternoon, I sell them here. Of course, all that I earn goes back to the Ranga first. This is prize share. Ikira, we trust in our Ranga to dispense our food, goods, and coin to the tribe. The Mataru get the best of all, and then the Kwaru. The Raparu share what is left among themselves. Only the Tamau has slept like a fat tortoise, while the rest of us chew on reeds to fool our bellies. Ikira, no one could be less surprised. Tamau had this coming. Guilty or no, being tossed to the waves is what Tamau deserves. I have no tears for him. He complained until the Ranga gave him my finest mats, and then left him out for the sport of beasts. Let the gods sort him. The tribe has challenges enough without Juana eating from each other's plates. You overstep for a stranger, an outsider. I say you should go back to the shore that welcomes you. I see your feet will not let you stay in one place. I stole the Koiki, not Tamau. Ruanu would have us waste our last Koiki on a ceremony to the gods. I say the seeds must be harvested and planted. So I hide them by the shore, where the sun warms the sand just so, and I wait. Ikira, do you cultivate? Koiki is tough, stubborn. It does not surrender without a fight. I let Amira's hot breath warm the heart of the seeds and tell them to grow. Ruanu would not understand. A Kuaru like me is no farmer. It is not my place to decide what is harvested. But if I can spring life from the Koiki seeds, then we have a chance to feed the tribe on a new crop. At least, what tribe still lives by the time the fruit grows? What say? He has stolen, insulted us, even hurled insults at the gods. He is no innocent, I say. If birthing a new crop of Koiki means his sacrifice, even Ngati would forgive this. Ikira, but say nothing. If Ruana takes back the Koiki, we will grow nothing else in time to sustain the tribe. I beg of you, for the good of the tribe, let Tumau meet the gods that the rest of us might eat again.
Yes, hello. Whatever you need, I can help. Hidden from all the sand crabs and liars, I say.
Ikira, that is no work of mine. Though I want to see you lose a finger to the crabs, digging up the rest.
I say I'm beyond finished. For this, I'll feed you to Ngati myself. With the respect, it is not for you to question how I protect the tribe and appease the gods. Unless you think someone else is to blame. It is not worth dirtying my blade. Try not to sicken Ngati or you'll weigh down her more.
Coward. I will take this satisfaction to my next life.
I could never eat a dwarf. For what?
Play along! I choose the belly, rich and fatty.
We are Raparu, you fools. We would only get the gristle between his toes.
Tomeo goes to his next life then. May Tangaloa welcome him. Ikira, maybe I do not sleep well at night then, but at least some good may come of it. What else do you seek? I weave baskets and mats. In the afternoon, of course, all that I earn goes back to the Ranga first. This is...
Step back, all of you. You've all got the wrong idea. I'm waiting for a shipment of sailcloth from the homeland. Is that going to be a problem?
Then what say you about this? Coded gibberish, or I'm an Orlin.
Damn it. He's about 2 seconds away from starting a brawl. I've got to step in. I'm not here to watch Watcher. One against a mob isn't exactly even. Ever heard of a fair fight?
Ha! Company warships blow our canoes to splinters, and you call us unfair? You foreign imps are all the same.
I will not hesitate to defend myself.
You won't be alone.
We will show the trading companies how we deal with Rowatayan spies. Charge, brothers and sisters!
Sights. Speak freely. You probably have some questions about what we've been doing. We found Harama in quite a state, didn't we? It's no wonder you'd be curious about what's going on. Harama was a sociable type of guy. Getting to know people came as easily to him as breathing. Atsura set him loose so he can get to know as many people as possible. That's one way you could put it. He's keeping an eye on Tikawara. Who comes and goes, what sorts of things they discuss. Atsura is committed to a more peaceful Deadfire. But he's just one man. He needs good people to shoulder the burden with him. Maybe. Probably. Let's just say we're not the first people to deliver Harama a missive that looked like one thing and read like another. Truthfully, I don't know. They looked like ordinary documents to me, but I'm sure that's how Atsura wanted it. Atsura has a new code for every hour of the day. He probably has cipher keys tattooed all over his body. Only Yatsura knows for sure. Harama might not even have all the facts. I certainly don't. Don't be dense. They're smart enough to assume that Raotai has spies. And if they're really smart, they're spying on us too. Though I doubt it. You have every reason to be suspicious. Just trust me that this is all for the best. I wouldn't lie about that. I've got some answers.
For what do you linger here?
Like a moth to a flame.
Feel it.
Come now, step into the light.
Let's go!
Damn it. I couldn't get to him in time. He was... Helios Feathers. He was my man when we served in the Navy. We shared a lot of hammocks together. Broke some, too. Thanks, Captain. It's easy to feel alone in a time like this, but I've got you here. We don't get to choose the when or the where of it, do we? And sometimes the end is as dumb and meaningless as a paranoid mob. Let's go. I need to get the land out from under me. You were saying? Speak your mind, Captain.
Right.
What say, friend? I weave baskets and mats in the afternoon, of course.
Maya. Do you recall the tales or songs of your tribe?
No. I was a hatchling when I left the Deadfire.
Oh, I thought perhaps...
This isn't story time, fish boy. Don't make me send a Shiza after your eyes.
With Tamel gone, our tribe has lost the diseased parrot, I say. Nothing more.
Amir's winds blow bitter today, outsider. So the foreigners now send Huana to enslave Huana.
No one chains to Kehu, I say. Well, except Rabuna.
Shameless clown. For what do you say this? To impress me? You are no different from the last ones who came through. Outlanders conquer us with ink and paper packs as well as blades. But they conquer us all the same. If our Ranga gave me the chance. Ruanu. He collaborates with the bottom feeders who went to Pokokahara for Adra riches. I warned the Valians about Pokokahara, but why listen to the ignorant Huana girl? Now I remain. They are gone. Taken by the curse. Pokokahara was not for them. With Nagati's aid, the sea takes and gives in equal measure. Dark clouds surround Pokokahara, and in my dreams, they swallow us all. We tell these stories not because they happen just so, We tell them for what they mean. Our Rangosphere makes him too trusting. He believes the Valiant traders will protect us if they settle here and mine Pococahara.
They will. It is what the company has done throughout the Eastern Reach. Why not here?
So the villagers pour their sweat into the sand, building a trading post on a barren island. They will kill us, rob us, enslave us. And we will be too busy building their halls and sweeping their docks to fight. You are known as a friend to the Huana. If you did not win our favor to simply profit from us, then prove it now. If you go to Pococahara, I say the best thing is to destroy it for the tribe.
So much the better if it means one fewer island with a Valiant flag planted on the beach.
Akira, your friend sees the shape of things. When the Hydra is gone, the Valians will dig somewhere else, leaving us to point our canoes toward more welcoming shores. If I knew, then I would go myself. Anything that is built can surely be destroyed, Akira. And the storms are proof of powerful magic at work. Dispel this magic, banish it, whatever needs doing. I hope so. And we did not speak of this, Akira. Anaharu was the tribe's priest before me. And he was my father. Before he challenged Ruanu to a trial of waves. But he was cast off. We are forbidden to speak of him. When there is an argument between leaders that cannot be answered, we turn to Nagati. Two challengers risk violent currents, beasts from the deep, and waves that would dash them against the rocks. The winner, if there is one, has Nagati's favor. The loser, living or dead, is forgotten by Nagati and the tribe. My father knew the traders are as dangerous as pirates and slavers, perhaps more, because they grow strong in Neketaka. So, when the expedition came, he begged Ruanu to send them away and move the tribe to another island. Ruanu, he did not listen, and Anaharu was done talking. It means the tribe must forget him. The Ranga divided his possessions among the other Mataru, and now we do not speak of him. Anaharu goes to his next life, but forgotten, he goes to a different tribe. He is Aranga. My own great aunt looked into his soul and declared him such. I must respect him, even as he builds a village for our enemies. Akira I have, and so did Anaharu. Oh, I must learn to stop saying his name. We worship the same gods as the foreigners, but sometimes with different names. This is Nagati, the trickster of the seas.
You worship Gon same as I do, at least in Nekataka. But I'll admit I've never called Andra Ngati.
Foreigners know her as Andra. To us, there is no difference.
Most of the avian godlike I've met were poets and singers.
Which one do you think I am?
Oh, someone's egg rolled out of the nest.
Will do. Tiana, what a surprise! I say, I could not find you after your Ranga moved the tribe. I say I will leave the thinking to the days after this guppy loses his tail.
I admit it. I like this one. Get a room, you two.
Welcome to Tikawara.
Speak your mind. Ngati smiles on you,
Greetings, friend. Always an honor to receive guests. I would shower you with the fruit of our harvest, but the season is unkind, I say. Pococahara is restless. Even from afar, the storms tear our bounty up by the root and chase fish to calmer shores. An island not touched since the days of our ancestors. The Valians went to Pococahara for luminous Ardra, but their expedition does not return. As the storms grow wild, Tikawara dies around us. No traveler will land here if they are forced to eat their belts, I say. In our old villages, we were raided by pirates, stolen by slavers, and killed by Rawatayan scouts. So I brought them here, where the soil is too poor for Kuiki fruit and the waters too shallow for great fish. At least we are in the path of Valian traders as they come and go. This is protection, prosperity, a future. You are new to the islands. I would not expect you to know of these things. Our ancestors told of luminous Ardra, the bones of the Deadfire, breaching through the sands of Pococahara. Ngati raises her watery fist in defense of the Ardra. Valian or Huana, it is nothing to her who suffers in the wake of such anger. Maybe that is for what the Valians find it so fascinating. Their captain brushed off my tails like the buzzing of gnats. Ikira, we paddle our canoes the long way around Pococahara for a reason, I say. Another people lived among our ancestors and built a temple in the desert. Now there is only death. But the Valians closed their ears to my warning. Here, this was a token passed down from the Rangas, said to come from Pococahara in brighter days. The Muzuma snail, a foul thing, yes? They eat through the dead faster than Tangaloa, I say.
It is nothing the Kawaru would craft. The ancestors and their hobbies. If you need aid, Himurihi's warriors need only someone to bark commands and they will go. Wind and sorrow are all that emerge from the ruins, never answers. Speak on, friend. What say? The Valians left many crates with the dwarf. He hoards them by the beach. But we never refuse a guest. If you need sleep, Himurihi will show you all the villages contending for the honor of your visit. And if you need strong Mutaru warriors to fight at your side, then Himurihi can help you with this also. She guards the trading post. Our village here is young still, but we will grow when the Valians come.
Takara, like an ingrown toenail.
For what does Nagati's chosen protest? Give Tikawara a chance to prove itself. That is for what we build many houses now, even a trading post. We make Tikawara pleasing to the Valians. Then when they come for Pokokahara, they build their harbor here. They must. Some tribes push foreigners away, but it is good to have powerful friends.
The company can be a good friend to helpful partners, even out here.
If the Valians come, they will build an outpost here in Tikawara. And then we will have more to trade with outsiders than just Rongi's mats. With coin comes protection, friendship. A favorable arrangement for both sides, I say. I say that in Tikawara there is always a spot around the fire and... and a koiki in every hand. Speak on, friend.
You were saying? You have my undivided attention, as always.
Take him down.
I feel it.
Moe, Ixie, on us!
Got it.
Right between the eyes.
Right.
Nice and slow. Worth a look. On it.
Ah, at once.
Will do.
Careful. Look.
She almost looks docile, don't she?
Found something.
Yeah, because first contacts always tend to go well.
Oh, Anna. Anna. Oh, Anna.
Can't really blame them, can ya?
Do not pretend to understand the opinions of fish, I say. Let us not leap to conclusions, I say.
Hatchlings. Oh, Anna. Please, hatchlings.
I've got it. On it.
We got trouble, folks.
Feel him.
Smart stoning.
Will do.